Chapter 5. My mother finally came to pick us up after one of the neighbors saw her and told her what was going on in our crack home. You know, we lived in that house with no electricity and running water at times for 7 years. And the neighbors never asked questions or called social services to do a check on us. You would think we would have been happy to get away from our dad, but the situation was not that much better. You see, my mother was an alcoholic. No, she was a drunk. That's just what she was, a drunk. She hung out in bars all night after work, so my sister and I were on our own once again. We had food and clothes, but we didn't have love, and that is what I needed. Not having love and not knowing it led me to the arms of Wendell's father. I was 14 when we met, and he was 18. He didn't know how old I was, and I looked mature for my age. He was a big-time drug dealer on the streets. He had money, and he could have had any woman he wanted, but he wanted me. I guess my innocence attracted him to me because I was a virgin. We started dating, and he gave me whatever I wanted. Then it came time for me to give him me, and I gave it freely because the attention felt good to me. I wasn't getting attention at home, and the only attention I got at school was from fights. I had turned into a mean girl. But with Wendell, it was different. He made me feel relaxed. He bought me whatever I wanted, and I was happy about that. I missed my period, and I started feeling funny. I was eating everything in sight, and my mother fused about it. "Girl, you are eating up everything." I thought to myself, well, you haven't fed me in 7 years, so shut up. I hadn't been to a doctor in years, so I just thought I was sick until I told Wendell I didn't get my period, and he said, "You might be pregnant." I was in denial at first, but then my belly was getting bigger, and I felt something moving around. I tried to hide it by wearing big clothes, but that didn't help eventually, and everyone in school was talking about me. Yep, I was definitely pregnant, and my mother was not happy about it. She didn't want me and my sister living with her and her boyfriend, and now I was bringing home a baby at 15 years old. Needless to say, she was embarrassed by me, but no more than I was about her drunken spells in the street. I used to get teased by the children in the neighborhood. She was a mess when she was drunk, and she would become violent to me, but not my sister. My mother praised my sister. Everything she did was perfect. She looked perfect, walked and talked perfectly, and especially after I had the baby, I was the embarrassment to her. It made me feel self-conscious even now. In 2023, I feel like I'm the ugly duckling and she is the swan because of my mother. So back to Wendell. We were parents and his mother was all in to have a grandson. Wendell's mother wanted Wendell all of the time at her house. So that gave me a lot of free time to do what I wanted to do, which was run behind her son. I kept my grades up. That was the only way I could get some recognition from my mother because my sister wasn't and still isn't as smart as I am. Don't get me wrong, all of us are gifted and talented, but I am the brains of the bunch. Wendell and I moved in together, and he paid all of the bills while I went to school. I came home from school and went to Wendell's mother's house to pick up Wendell. She told me Wendell got locked up and it didn't look good because he had a lot of drugs on him. I was crushed because I didn't want to, or should I say I couldn't go back to my mom's house because I burnt the bridge before I left. She had come home drunk and was acting mean and nasty to me, and I had it, so we started fighting. She told me to get out, and I knew I was never coming back to her house ever again. Wendell's mother said I could come and stay with her, but I was determined to make it on my own. So I dropped out of school and got a job working at a bank. I was making good money and providing for me and my